Okay, Julia, where are you? Julia Mack? Wow. ODrive is in the house. Ready to roll?
All right. Hi, everyone. So before we get started, I just have a few quick questions. Can I get a show of hands on how many people are Gmail users? Okay, keep your hands. How many people are also Facebook users? Dropbox users? Google Drive users? Even OneDrive users with Microsoft? Salesforce, because it's Dreamforce this week. All right. And I saw a lot of hands. And hopefully this is going to be interesting for you, because what we do with ODrive is we try to bring everything that you have online, all the files you have across all these different services, different applications, different storage providers, into a single folder so you can easily access everything from one place. So if you guys can take a look right here, I have ODrive installed. And it's very simple. It shows up as a folder. And once I get in, I can see all the different applications that we currently support, and we're in beta right now. So here I have already connected my Gmail account. And automatically, we organize and we sort through all the files that were sent to you by different senders, by their email addresses, and even the labels that you have set up in your email account. So now all your attachments is readily available to you right at your fingertips without you actually having to go through and try to dig through the emails, search through everything you have, download it, save it somewhere else, upload it to someone else. You don't have to do any of that anymore. It's just right here, and it's very easy. And when you browse into it, you see that ODrive actually syncs down the files for you, so you can just open it and use it how you normally would. And this is a photo my coworker emailed me earlier as we were trying to prepare for the demo. And in top of Gmail, I also have my Google Drive that's already connected. And it's the same thing. As you can see here, all the files are available. Photos I have, even my Google Docs files. Since Google Docs is a web application, so what we do is we let you open it back on Google. So you can still see your Google Doc files, but you can easily open it back within the Google Docs application and edit it and work on it the same way that you normally would. And what I'm going to show here is so I have one Dropbox account that's already connected that has all my files and shared music that I have with other people. And if I actually have more than one account, I can connect multiple. So I'm going to link an additional Dropbox account here. So this is for people, and this is what we've heard, is that a lot of people may use Dropbox, say, for personal reasons, but you could also have a Dropbox that's for work. You can have your clients that are using Dropbox. You may be working with other people who are using Dropbox trying to share files with you. So what you do is you just connect your Dropbox to your ODrive, and here we are authenticating directly against the third-party service that we're connecting to. So ODrive as an app, we don't see your password or your user ID at all. So we actually don't have access to any of your information. We're just simply giving you a way to better access what you already have. And so here I connected my Dropbox account, and instantly I see everything that I already have in there. And as you see, what happens is as I browse through, that's when we start syncing all of your files for you. So it's very different than other cloud storage applications right now, where once you run the client, it automatically downloads everything and syncs everything at the same time. So for a lot of people that are actually using multiple services or have a lot of data, that's not always the most optimized way how you can get to it. And we designed our sync with a different approach, and we are calling it progressive sync. So what happens is we only sync what you want as you want it. So what happens is it starts syncing as I start browsing into these folders. So it happens in a much more automatic and seamless fashion. And as you can see here, so now the files are instantly available, and here are all these different versions of our logo. Another thing that we also connect to, I'm running a little bit short on time here, so I can't show fully, but not only do we sync all the files that you have across all these different services, but we can also connect to your existing file servers. So we support your Windows file server, your Linux file server. So if you already have data that exists for your company, for example, you can actually also use ODrive as a way to access everything from the same place.
Quick question for you. Why did you feel like this needed to exist? What's the story behind this?
So we started as, so ODrive is actually,
What happened for you to say this? Why doesn't this exist yet?
I don't know why it doesn't exist yet.
No, but what was the thinking behind? Was there frustration? Did something happen? Why did you come to the conclusion that you needed to create this?
Right. So we actually are a product out of a company called Oxygen Cloud. So we started in the space doing cloud storage. And we were working with a lot of enterprise customers. But what we've learned is that when we even talk to customers, people actually tell us, they're like, well, yeah, we're looking for a cloud storage solution, but we don't know if we can really just do this because we have files, realistically, we have files sitting in existing servers in our office. And then we have some clients who are using Box. And then some people on our marketing and sales team wants to use Dropbox because it's easier. So what we have learned is that it's hard to force anybody to use just one thing. And it's not just about one thing. I think as we move forward, everyone here, as a show of hands earlier, is that people are using multiple services, right? And what you have to do is you have to switch between accounts. You have to go through different applications. You have to run different applications. And because we actually had the time to develop a better way to sync all the data, we thought that actually this would be the way to bring all the data together. And for us, it's like the first step.
But isn't this just one more service?
It's instead of having to run multiple services, you can use one service to get to the things you have.
What's the cost? Let me just remind you, the camera is there, so if you want to have your back your head on TV or the,
Okay.
yeah. What is the cost?
It's free.
Okay,
So
explain.
okay, I'm gonna explain. So the key is we are not a storage service, so we actually don't have to carry any of the storage costs. So for us, we're enabling how you can actually connect to all the things that you have. So that's the first part. So we can easily provide that as a free service. And in the future, as a business model, we're going to keep adding more apps and more services to support. And from there, as I said earlier, bringing everything together in the same place is just the first step for us. What you can do now that you have all the data within your fingertips, where it's much easier to access, is what else you can do, how we can enable better productivity and different types of workflow across these different applications with all the information that you have. Then we're going to add premium types of features that are more oriented for professional users, for business use cases. And at that point, those will be options that people can upgrade and pay for.
Got it. Anybody have questions in the room? I'm over here with the microphone.
I see one question over here.
Can you talk to us a little bit about security? Because obviously Dropbox had the recent security issues. What was it? Tinder? I forget. Another service was hacked. It's like Snapchat. Every week it seems like a service has vulnerabilities. So how do you address that for your users? And what's the game plan in terms of making sure that you're keeping your clients safe?
Right, so a few things. So the first thing is when people use ODrive to connect to other services, we actually don't have access to your passwords. You're authenticating directly against the service. So we don't have access, we cannot copy it, we cannot see it, we don't have your files. So in essence, your files are as safe as how safe they are in Dropbox. But as part of what we were saying earlier is how we can bring more value to ODrive in the future. One of the things we're definitely thinking of is to provide encryption, for example. So you can use ODrive as a client to connect to all these different cloud services you have, and ODrive can encrypt your data for you before it actually gets synced and uploaded into those services. That way you can actually get the peace of mind that your stuff is safe.
Good question, good answer. Hands up. Oh, over there. Okay. You got it?
Yeah, it's actually a very excellent idea. So I'm just curious, like currently if you're using this software or system, like I have Dropbox, multiple Dropbox account and Facebook. So when I use it, is it going to download all the items like from Facebook or Dropbox? Or only the existing one that I'm going to upload to it?
So it downloads, so the way Progressive Sync works is it downloads as you go through the stuff you need, right? So the minute you connect to a Dropbox account, what we get is kind of the structure you have set up. So whatever folders you have will like show that it's available, but we don't start downloading everything for you until you start clicking through the files indicating that you're interested in them and you want those files, and then we'll start downloading. And by doing so, we can actually keep the experience really fast and really lightweight because we don't have to download a ton of stuff. Because truth is, if you're gonna connect this to like a lot of accounts and a lot of services, and you have a lot of data, like your laptop could maybe only have like 256 gigs of storage, right? But your Dropbox Pro can have a terabyte of storage, and you can't sync that all down onto your computer like at the same time. And if you have multiple, that's just become like, that's just not efficient. So we develop Progressive Sync specifically to address that and to make it easier for you. It'll download when you go through it, but you also have the option to, if you want to say like right clicks, like sync a whole folder, you can do that as well.
Julie, just a quick question with regard to folks that might want to share. You can share through ODrive to your Dropbox, yeah?
So we support, for example, Dropbox has this native like share link option, so we allow you to do that through the client as well. So it's not sharing through ODrive, you're still using Dropbox as sharing.
Got it. So it doesn't matter to you what kind of content might be within those folders because you're agnostic.
Yeah, we're agnostic. Yeah, that's a very good way to put
Got
it.
it.
We're agnostic. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. I think we're out of time. Yeah. Great.
And just for anyone who's interested, we do have a table in the back, and we have T-shirts, so come say hi to the team and grab a shirt.
Awesome. Thank you. Right on.